fat ass mole.
Fat face moles, you better rack off your mole. Dumb mole.
Welcome to Mole Patrol!
Oh my god, what is up? What's up, Mal?
Episode 5, Mole.
Episode 5. I'm very excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about scammy moles.
Yes, scammers, scam artists, scam thieves, scam bags.
Tinder swindlers.
They're the worst human beings.
The worst human beings. I don't know what, I don't know how you, decide to be a scammer. Like, is it something you're born with or is it something that's thrust upon you?
I think that I think there's two kinds of scammer in the world.
Yeah.
I think there's people living in third world countries who have no other choice. I still think it's scumbag behaviour. Deal drugs, do something cool.
Or to start a business.
Yeah. But
be an entrepreneur.
sell phone boo-boos. You know what I mean?
Foo-foos, that's what they call it. That definitely sounds like another word for a vagina.
Yeah. It's like a lefufu. A lefufu sounds like a vagina term for the 1800s, or it sounds like a wig you would put over a vagina.
Yeah.
Like one of those,
over your labubu.
one of those Victorian lice infested.
What are they actually called? What are the wigs for?
I can't remember the name of them. And then you know that thing about the Victorian era that they used to have fans to cover their teeth because all their teeth were rotten because sugar. So they only bathed once a year. They had they used to wear these wigs on their vaginas covered in perfume to mask the stench, and then they had fans to cover their teeth, and they were the higher echelon of society. They were looking down on people. No one's going fucking down on them.
Sounds like a bit of a scammer.
That's an ultimate scam.
Yeah.
I'd say a Victorian vagina would be fucking wild.
Do you know what I think that even if I don't shower for 12 hours and I'm even then I'm like oh I think I smell can you imagine
my thrush has thrush.
It's a whole ecosystem down there.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons when Lisa has the dough,
true,
except it's
true.
in their vagina.
God.
It's just being fed sugar crumbs.
Imagine the sourdough that would come out of that.
Oh my god, you could start a chain. Baker's Delight.
Anyway, back to scammers, Mol.
Yeah.
I think we both have some kind of stories about being scammed or...
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're relentless. They're just the worst human beings as well.
Yeah, I think it's I think about, my friends, or I think there's a lot of I've watched the Tinder swindler documentary and all these kind of things. And I think a lot of women in their kind of 40s, they're the ones who always are more subjective to these kind of...
You saw the woman who sent hundreds of thousands of dollars to who she thought was Brad Pitt. And it's the worst Photoshop. It's him in hospital. It's one of the funniest memes I've ever seen in my life. It's all these not Brad Pitts and it was they Google imaged a picture from ER back in the 2000s or whatever, and then put Brad Pitt's face on. He's I love you so much, baby.
It's just one of those things where you just I don't know because I've gone into the deep psychology of this because I've obviously dated people in my past where I'm I look back now and I'm oh
yeah,
what did they tell me what and I even have a friend who dated this guy in Egypt, and then he would never give her Facebook to her, and then she ended up doing a deep dive, as women do. We're so fucking great at this. Didn't women find Osama bin Laden? Wasn't that?
Yeah, exactly. Women are without a doubt the greatest sleuths on our planet.
Yeah. Even now, I'll do something, and my boyfriend's how do you remember that? How did you find that out? I'm I don't know. I have ways. But and then she ended up finding his Facebook. I don't even know how she found this guy's Facebook, and then turns out he was full married, and everything.
There's an amazing podcast series called Sweet Bobby, Jesus Christ, that's a hard listen. And the woman in it's really intelligent woman. She was a radio presenter, and she just fell deep. And then I'm assuming everyone's either listened to it at this stage. A bit of a spoiler alert to anyone listening, but it transpires it was actually her cousin. But she destroyed her life. Wow. She destroyed her life. They made a Netflix documentary about it and everything.
I think I watched that documentary. That's based in London.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember watching that, being oh, it
was her cousin,
God.
And there was no consequences. Scammers, there is no consequences for scammers. Even our criminals don't go to jail in Ireland because our prisons are overfilled.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with a lot of other crime.
They just get they destroy lives for a decade, and then they get a suspended sentence and a 400 quid fine.
Because I don't know if you, because I obviously produce a lot of shows, so I get a lot of emails from podcasts. They're like, oh, this is Joe Rogan's manager. We
Oh,
would love
yeah,
to get
yeah.
And then I got one once, and I was like, oh, this kind of looks legit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I went on there, and they're like, yeah, we need to like jump onto a Zoom call or something. And I like went on, and then they're like, oh, we need access to your like Facebook, and I was like sharing my screen, and then like literally halfway through, and I was like, where are you calling from? He's like, I'm from Nigeria. And I just cut the call.
No
I
way.
just cut the call like straight away. I was like, this is one.
I didn't know Joe Rogan was operating out of Nigeria.
And then I was like, why do they need access to like my Facebook ads account?
It's just when you're busy and when you're distracted with other things.
Yeah.
There was a big scam in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I got one of these emails actually, and loads of my mates did as well. So a few of my mates are musicians and actors and stuff like that. And this guy got on to me asking me to do cruise gigs.
Yeah.
And it was just something, it was the way it was written. And I was just there going, there's something not right with this. And I kind of said, hey, can you send me over some credentials? I can't find anything. And then never heard from them again. But it's, do you know what always is a telltale sign? When you get an email and the font is a different size.
Yes.
So they've been copy pasted like
But I'm just like always like that. Like I think like I actually feel like the legitimate like stuff that I've got is like more like legit. It's always come through Instagram.
Yeah,
like, it's always just like slide into your DMs, and then like.
But you can check it,
Yeah,
and then you can check their website. But yeah, scammers are everywhere, and I think anyone listening, like, if you think it sounds off, it's fucking off.
Yeah,
Don't give
like-
anyone any benefit of any doubt. If it feels a bit,
like I understand like business stuff, like I'm a little bit more like wary of, but like when it comes to like love or like relationships, like the whole Tinder swindler, like when they're like paying for shit. But I know like you get into that moment of like, oh, but they've paid for me for some stuff, so then I'll like
do you know who they target the most is empaths, and if you're a serious empath. Keep away, like they will play on your like heartstrings and stuff. Like I went out with someone once and I don't even know who that person was. Like the whole everything.
I mean, Danny. Like,
I know, yeah. But everything they said was like a total lie.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting their cousin that was at one of my gigs or something. She's like, "Oh, you went out with my cousin," and I actually just said, "I don't actually know who your cousin is."
Yeah.
And I actually said that to her because I was like everything, and it was only like months afterwards. I was like, "Oh man."
But this is what narcissists like. I think most of them are kind of like narcissists. Like I was dating a guy a few years ago, and like and it was kind of wild because everything was at the start, and he was like telling me all this stuff about how like he'd worked in America, and like he was like he knew like this really famous composer and like all this sort of stuff. And I was like okay, like kind of like checks out, like whatever. And then like I was trying to get him to come to Europe like to see me, and then because he's from India, and then he like couldn't get a visa, and then they said he was suspicious, right? And then I was like and then I started like,
sorry, but he's on our no-fly.
It was like
terrorist list.
But it was like that meme, like where that woman's like, and like all like the like the mathematics stuff, and like I started like putting everything together.
You kind
and
of look like her.
Yeah,
you do.
Like, dude, I was like,
you know your woman. She's gonna go.
We gotta get our editor to do that. Like, what the fuck, right? And then I literally started, and then I was like, did he even go to America? Like, because I'm like, if you had your American visa, you wouldn't be called suspicious, and you would be easily able to get.
Now he would.
Right, and then apparently he got his passport revoked like shortly after that for like again like suspicious, like things didn't match up, and I'm like,
the dog ate my passport and my identity card.
Right, but like that was the thing. Like at that point, like I like kind of liked the guy, like I felt like I trusted him, and like all this sort of shit, and I was like,
Dumb mole.
thanks. Yeah, that was me. I'm the dumb mole.
I'm a dumb mole.
Yeah.
We all are.
But like it's like and I think as well when people are like really attractive and like they're not like they can get away with so much more.
Massively. That's it. Like, and if you're good looking, you're twice as likely to like get away with stuff in court and all. You're way more likely to get a job. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, like even my ex a few years ago, like that was like sometimes I was just like I'm like there's times where I'm like I don't know if this guy's like legit. Like, is he scamming people?
Yeah.
I was like, how does he have this money? Like, where did this money come from?
They reckon 1 in 4 people is like a narcissistic sociopath.
Yeah.
1 in 4. Yeah. Whether like not full blown, but like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like one of the. Yeah, I mean, I would totally.
There's a few people in India, so your chances are actually pretty high.
Quite high. I know, it was like wild, and then like was saying all this stuff, and I'm just like I have another good friend as well that like would just I don't know if it's like a pathological liar or like or this whatever, but she would just like make up these stories where you're like, I don't actually think that's real. Like,
I've met people like that, and I have friends like that, and they're good people.
Yeah.
But they're just, I don't know what happened to them when they were younger. Like everyone has loads of trauma. Like
I think a lot of it has to do with like sexual abuse and like that kind of, like I think I went on this full deep dive.
They kind of changed their reality to kind of push out the old one or something like that.
Where, as opposed to like empaths, like, you know, you and me, like in that kind of way where it's like, oh, you sort of like blame yourself. They
just self-harm. I did this.
And the Catholic Church doesn't help that. It's like, you are guilty, and you're like, I am. But like,
go say your penance.
And but I think maybe they dissociate, and then they just kind of like live in their own reality because their like childhood was so bad.
That does make a lot of sense. I sympathize for them as well, but also get some fucking therapy and stop destroying everyone's life.
Like, I think like even
it's like a game as well.
Even my therapist said like there's no helping them. Like,
I actually saw a really interesting thing. I remember I went also on a deep dive, and apparently if someone's like a total narcissist, right? They end up just keep repeating the pattern of just destroying people's lives, moving on, and they all die alone, and no one wants anything to do with them anymore. So they end up these really sad, lonely, angry, bitter people, like, you know, because no one wants anything to do with them anymore. Or
they've kind of got people out of their life like over so many times, and it's just like, and
you'll often, I remember, like, you know, when you work in random jobs, like when you're younger, and people are like, my kids don't speak to me, and they always have a story. And like, I worked in homeless and addiction services as well, and a lot of people had some really, really horrific lives, and I really understand why people turn to drugs and drink. I totally get it. Like, it's, you know, I've never judged anyone like that, but then I've met some people that are like truly awful. I remember one of my managers saying to me, like, I was trying to help this client, one of my managers is like, if you speak to a lot of people in here, they'll tell you what you want to hear. You go have a conversation with their family, and you'll realize that for the last 20 years they have been destroying everyone's life, and you're like, because you're like, how can this family leave someone here? Why is this person in a homeless service? I can't believe that a family would do that to anybody. That's inconceivable. And then when you find out what this person's been doing over and over, that they just can't take it anymore.
It's 100% like, we have a lot of mental illness in our family, like this generational trauma from the war, like my grandma was a refugee. That whole family is like got a lot of stuff, and like
Fuji Nana
refugee G, that's like Labubu, like back in the days, like fucking on a boat for like 6 weeks, like no idea where you're going.
It's like the famine.
It's like, it's wild. And then like the reason they chose Australia was because they had Canada and Australia, and then like they were like, oh no, we have to, like, we've got 5 kids, so we have to get winter coats for 5 kids. Now fuck it, we'll go to Australia.
Wow.
Like, the weather's better. That's literally what set like our family was like, the weather, like, we'll just go like
anywhere you go.
I wanted the better weather, Laura. Like, so they just fucking,
but I needed the sunshine. Sunshine and the racism.
But I mean, I saw this great TikTok the other day, and it was like my Italian grandfather circa 1960, and he was like rocking up to like some part of like Western Sydney, being like, see, like, this is a good.
Do you know what I love as well about Italians? Not love, but I just think it's so funny. Like, when you talk about World War II to anyone, right? Everyone goes, so, like, the Germans get such a rough time, like, especially in comedy clubs, like, the amount of people, like, you know, doing really hacky, like, Hitler stuff with them, and, like, it isn't fair on them, like, but Germans deserve to have the piss taken out of them for a multitude of reasons, like, you know. 100%. However, Italy just got a pass. And like, Mussolini was a monster. Like, Mussolini was like taking over Egypt and everything. Like, he was a fucking nightmare. He's Hitler's like right hand man.
He created fascism.
Like, Mussolini was his JD Vance, right? And then, like, because of all the amazing like Italian like
Hitler
music,
was the fall guy.
Like, literally, he was Mussolini's fall guy. And like, because of all the amazing pasta culture, pizza, like all the stuff that like Italy brought to the world, they kind of Mamma Mia'd their way out of World War II.
Right? It's like 100%. Like, that's what there's my friend's great Filippo. He's an amazing like comedian from Milan, and he has this joke where he's like, Italians, we created the fashion and fascism. Like, it's just like,
it's so on it.
It's so true. Like, it's they get away with like so much stuff. So they're definitely. I mean, there's a lot of scammers, a lot of like mafia.
So we've got a scammer. This one's from Dublin, actually.
Oh, is it from Dublin? All right, from
Scammer Mole.
Scammer Mole. Here we go. Let's listen.
So my mole of the week, or of the quarter, should I say, is an absolute scam artist, scumbag. He has sold tickets to football matches over in the UK to a big load of us, and I'm discovering that we're down thousands. People have travelled over to watch the matches. One guy travelled from Canada.
That's like, I mean, that's like next level. I mean, but the thing is like, if you're doing it in a different country, like where...
Yeah, and like, you know, football tickets, like particularly like in Ireland, like loads of
Yeah.
people would travel over for like Liverpool's a massive Irish
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Liverpool, Man United, all that kind of thing. People go over for matches here all the time.
Right.
It's something that a lot of people do with their kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's their thing, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, whatever, parents will bring the kids over to see a game. And for a lot of people as well, like they're working all week, they have kids. Some of their only breaks they get throughout the year. They don't go for city breaks, they go
Yeah.
over and see a match
Yeah.
in Anfield or Manchester or whatever.
Right.
So that's what this fucker is at, like.
Jesus, like...
And one guy took it a 70-year-old father, and another guy took two kids
Oh my
to the match
God.
and discovered outside the stadium that there was no tickets. So
But like, I just like, where do you get them from? Is it like a second?
So there's
resale sale?
there's
Like-
tons of like Facebook groups, there's WhatsApp groups, but there's like there's tens of thousands of euros
Yeah,
floating
yeah,
around this.
yeah.
Like it is an insane it's an
But I
insane
remember,
market.
like, I've tried to like sell a few tickets like on like the Aussies in London Facebook
Yeah.
page, and like literally like I always feel I'm like, no, they're legit. I'm not a scammer. And then you're like, I sound like a scammer.
Picture you there with your passport, a newspaper from today, and a clock, like, and your
I'm just
mum.
like, and then you're like, I'm not a scammer. I promise, I'm not a scammer. I'm like, and they're like, and then people like, yeah, it's crazy.
You do,
an
yeah.
absolute
Yeah.
scumbag. I've had the misfortune of having to deal with the imbecile for the last 3 months as well.
Oh my
He
God.
can't actually, he can't construct even a sentence together. I don't know how he got this far.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like they're like,
They play dumb though. They play dumb, and what they do is that they frustrate you into giving up.
yeah,
That's
right.
the scam
Yeah,
MO.
yeah.
Because like
But
third
that's
world,
like also like a corporation. Like, you know, when you're trying to get out of contract,
Yeah.
they're just like, they're like,
they
nah,
just
you're
wear
like,
you down. Yeah. Or just keep bumping the payments that they owe you until you
Yeah.
just give up asking
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
It's the same
exactly.
thing.
But it's been frustrating. He's a
Yeah.
complete scammer. He cries at cribs, and he acts the victim. And he even told me one night that the money had been transferred back to us and to have a glass of wine and relax. It's all sorted. Complete lies. What a tosser.
Oh my God. I think, like,
Imagine scamming someone and be like, have a little glass of wine.
yeah. Just have a glass of wine.
Have a
it'll be
little
fine,
glass
it'll
of
be fine.
shot
The
enough
money
to
will
pap
come through.
there.
And the money
Relax.
will never come through.
Relax.
Like, right. Oh, yeah. I think that's the worst thing you can ever say to someone when they're
Oh.
angry is like, just relax.
Man, if you tell an irate Irish woman like my aunt, my mum, my sister, I can't even imagine or an Italian for that matter.
Dude,
Italian would be next
I like-
level.
I
How do you
like-
say relax in Italian?
I don't even know. Like, rilasso. I don't know. Like,
Rilasso.
no, I think, I actually don't even know. Like, I think because Italians are, like,
Rilasso, don't do it.
yeah, I think we're like
You wanna
we're not even like relax. Like, Italians are just not relaxed. It's probably not even
There's
like
no
their vocabulary.
word. There's no word for relax, and there's no word for like cultural integration.
Do you know what though?
Look it
Like,
up.
I'm like looking it up in like Italian. Like, let's what is it?
I don't want to be some mole.
Oh yeah, rilassarsi. So it's a reflective, verb.
Rilassarsi.
Transitive verb. Yeah, rilassare. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's always
Rilassare.
Like, rilassare. It's always like that thing. Like,
So, have you ever heard anyone in Italy going rilassare, baby?
no, because it's like more like you go to like a spa, which is like benessere, which is like, you know, to be well. Like, it's like that. Like, benessere.
I'd say there's some seriously beautiful, creepy motherfuckers in an Italian
Oh,
spa.
and they're all in Speedos.
Yeah, I'd say
Like,
it's just
yeah.
Speedos and lads just like sitting there
Well,
going.
it's still better than the German ones where they're all just like naked and you just see like
Germans are the
balls.
creepiest fuckers when it comes to saunas. They're just so weird about it as
I remember
well.
the first one I went into naked, and it was like one of those tiny ones in a hotel, and it was just two old German men with like, you know, like the gut, and
just
then like
ball bags on the
and the
floor,
ball,
like
bags,
a burst
ball
space
bags just
hopper.
like touching the tiles of like the sauna, and then you're just there, and you're like, and I was like, I don't know where to look.
I don't want my
like,
vagina to twitch there.
No, that's the thing. Sometimes, like in the wet saunas, like you have to sit
that's
like
the equivalent
naked.
of me like putting my balls on their balls.
I'm like, am I gonna get chlamydia? What is happening?
Imagine you got chlamydia.
Oh my
from the
God.
sauna.
But like, I
It's
don't
so
know.
grimy.
So I think these scammy moles like
I need to find a bowl one for this.
I'm gonna marry you, mole.
marry your mole and your chlamydia. No, like, oh, my boyfriend and I had a fight like a couple of months ago, like a really bad fight, and I was in Australia and he was in London.
Oh
and,
wow, like a southern Normus head.
To be fair, like it was really like I was
a
going
trans hemispheric fight.
through. To be fair, I was going through like a really stressful time, which like had nothing really to do with him. And then
Did he tell you to
and he-
relax?
yeah, no. I was like, "What are you doing today?" And he's like, I just woke up. I'm so relaxed, and I was like. what? Like this whole thing of my body just like my body just contorted, and I was like, what? You're relaxed. Like this, like fucking, this sounds came out of me that I didn't even know, and I was like, yeah,
Fuck.
hilarious. Anyway, back to the scammers. So I think these like Facebook groups. So I'll tell you a story. Like when my aunt passed away in April,
Yeah,
and we had to like literally like pack up her apartment and get rid of all the shit within like a week and a half. Like Dad was like, just get fucking rid of it. So I was in charge because Mum and Dad boomers can't do Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, of course.
So I had to be on fucking
tech support has arrived.
I joined Free Stuff Geelong, right? Free Stuff Geelong, which already is like the worst of the worst, right?
Wow.
So Free Stuff, and I listed all this like very nice furniture, like
Yeah.
it's very nice, like because she's had it for years, like all like furniture, and I was like, free pickup Heighton, like come and pick it up,
Yeah.
right? And then someone's just like, it's a scam, and I was like, it's not a scam. It's free. And they're like, she doesn't even live here. Like, she lives in Berlin. Like, and I was like, yeah, my aunt passed away. I'm literally home, and I'm giving. And I'm like, what's gonna happen if you just come to? Do you think
worst case scenario? There's just no one there.
Yeah, or you think someone's gonna come out and like jump you? It's a scam. I was like,
Yeah, it's a honey trap. Bring cash for the stuff I'm going to give you for free.
yeah, right. Like I was just like, oh my god.
But then there's all these heads who just live on Facebook, and that's all they do all
but
day.
But you've been scammed, right?
Oh yeah, I got I wrote an yeah. I did a show about it. I'm actually doing the last couple of shows of it now.
Yeah.
Called Kilimanjaro. I climbed Kilimanjaro, but honestly, about 70% of the show is actually about getting scammed.
I think I remember seeing it, and I was just like, okay, like literally like 15 minutes of the show was about
Yeah. It was in Windsor.
Like,
But so basically, I was going to the Fringe in 2023, and I
Yeah.
usually share with me and Rory O'Hanlon. Usually get a flat or whatever.
Nice.
And I was in New Zealand doing New Zealand Comedy Festival, so I was late getting back to Ireland. You know, usually I'd get back. I'd finish a tour, say April, but I didn't get back to like the end of May. And I was just jumped on, and one of my mates in Edinburgh, and I was like, is Gumtree all right? Because I've always known someone, but a load of my friends left Edinburgh, and it was just kind of a lot of messing, and I just said, right, got onto Gumtree, looked at a couple of places, and then this guy got on to me, and the reason I believed him is that he's like, oh, listen, the flats are a little bit messy, I'll send you a couple of pictures.
Right.
So I was like, no one would send kind of shitty flats, and they were just a little bit cheaper than normal.
Right.
Like it wasn't, and I was under so much pressure, I had to get a new show together. I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
And that's it, like it's when you're
But that's what they do, like
yeah.
like if you ever think you're being scammed, they'll always get you when you are like vulnerable because you're distracted. So with a romance scam, like you're not thinking clearly, for example.
Yeah.
You're in love with the person and they're manipulating it, whereas this guy knew I was really busy. Long story short, there was no apartment, and I figured it out because he was bullshitting before. So a mate of mine is a bouncer in Edinburgh, and he's like one of the roughest fuckers you've ever met, right? His name is fucking Davey. And Davey's like, if anyone ever fucks you over in Edinburgh, I've never had to use this card, but I said, Dave, I think I'm getting scammed.
Yeah.
The guy's English, and he's like, right. So I had the address.
I love that you and Scottish people, like
Yeah,
Irish
yeah,
people
yeah.
are like, yeah, we're together.
I said I have the address of the flat. Would you mind checking it out?
Yeah.
And I messaged the guy and I said, a friend of mine's coming over to see the property. The guy shit it, and there was no property. The whole thing was a lie. And he's like, you've broken the contract by asking for a viewing. Now this is 2 days before the Fringe, and I met an agent who was at the Paddy Power Comedy Festival in Dublin. So I ended up having to stay in student accommodation, right? In the Cowgate, above Stramash, which if anyone knows Edinburgh, is like staying in Temple Bar during Paddy's Day.
I stayed there the first Edinburgh
Horrific.
in a hostel.
Horrific.
And the toilets didn't work. It was just clogged.
It's
full of
horrendous.
Shit. Yeah, it was...
Me and a proper train spotting experience. Went to the police. They were a disaster. The woman turns to me and goes, the woman was like 100 years old. Like, I'm like, she should be in a nursing home. Why are you working? And she goes, I'm so sorry, young man, because you paid for that accommodation when you were in Ireland. It's the Irish police's problem. Oh, no. And then the Irish police, a good friend of mine is a cop, she actually followed this up. It took months and months, and they caught the guy. They found the fucking piece of shit. So he'd scammed people out of over 200,000. Right, and a woman got in touch with me because I did an article for it was like Edinburgh Live.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
That article kind of went viral in Edinburgh, and then a woman read the article. Basically, she left an abusive relationship. She had 2 young children. Again, under pressure, under duress, distracted. He took her last £4,000 off her, and there was no apartment. She put all her stuff into storage and everything.
Oh my God.
He was part of a bigger thing. He was an English guy living in Wales, scamming people in Edinburgh. And he'd been at it for years and years.
So has he been arrested or like?
Yeah, so I don't know. I reckon he'll just get a suspended sentence.
Yeah,
that's what happens here in Ireland.
Yeah,
There's no consequences for fucking anything.
That's it. Like you can just like do all that, or you can just go, oh, I'm bankrupt now.
I'm bankrupt now, and just go sorry, and that's it. And then they just go, oh, you have to pay. I'll tell you a mad one, right?
Yeah.
Talking about injustice, a friend of mine who Lorcan, a musician, pal.
Yeah.
So Lorcan was telling me he used to work at this venue. It's closed down now. And there was a security guard, a bouncer at the door. He's in his like early 60s. He was kind of working as a bouncer, like, part-time for a bit of extra cash. This guy went absolutely insane one night, this Russian dude, and he was like an absolute monster. But he basically punched the bouncer so hard he broke his nose, like fucked him up. And the guy actually never worked again after that as a bouncer because he was so like fucked up from it. So him and like a load of others, including the musicians, had to fucking citizens arrest this guy, right? And he was off his head, but he was a maniac. It eventually went to court in Dublin, in the Four Courts, okay? He got a €400 fine for fucking breaking a guy's nose, right? In like a €400 fine, right? Your man's solicitor said, my client doesn't have the means to pay €400. So the judge reduced it to €100. And you know what the worst part is? My mate had to go and testify in court. Oh my God. Okay? He parked his van at a Houston station to go to the Four Courts because he had to testify that he was a witness to the assault. His van got clamped. His clamp cost him €120. It cost him 20 quid more to testify than the guy who broke the fucking nose of the
Piss off, you drunk mole. That's fucked.
Yeah. And that's not one of those, like, that's someone I know who literally that happened,
Wow. See, that's the thing, like, it's like these scammers, they just keep doing it.
I think if anyone can take anything from this episode, right? If you feel anything is fucking dodgy in any shape or form, trust your gut. Ask a mate. Don't go there because 99.9% of the time it's a scammer. The other 0.1% it's the guy Eleanor met on Tinder.
It was actually Bumble. Thank you. Feminism 101. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on all of the platforms.
Also, give us a follow if you subscribe to our Patreon and sign up to it. You get some bonus moles. And we give out some free tickets, some merch, and then we give a heads up on live events and stuff like that as well. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to our Patreon so far, and we will see you soon.
Yeah,
peace out, moles.
Fat ass mole.
Fat face moles. You better rack off your mole. Dumb mole. Dumb mole.
Dumb mole.
Dumb mole. Shut up, you mole. Shut up, mole. Yeah, you mole.
Such a mole.